This thing open.
You know how like advent calendars for kids, those chocolate?
Yeah. Yep. We got one.
I'm like that with pumpkin pie.
No, it's my first Marvel movie. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you got to see a Marvel movie in theaters." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll go see Spider-Man."
Maybe they should have been in there because I have some opinions on why Georgia is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs.
Oh my god!
Why should
Not
they?
you.
They just lost.
Welcome to the Beer and Sports Podcast. I'm Josh Wingate. He's Josh Kimmel. Josh Kimmel OUS. Josh Wingate, and you can't see it currently, but it is Josh Wingate 302 on Twitter. Make sure to follow us on all social platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and same for the network, Finstalk Sports Network. How's it going, Kimmel?
Are you dying? Are you okay?
I might be. It was a pretty rough couple. Like, it's been over a week. It's going on. Like, tomorrow will be 2 weeks that this is. Well, I guess technically Sunday is 2 weeks. But my wife, because it was swollen, like whatever glands are around here was swollen, and my wife was like, "I think you have cancer." She was like hardcore, like nurse and everything. She's like, "I think you got cancer," and I'm like, "Well, first of all, cancer just doesn't happen like that. You don't like sneeze and then get COVID and whoop, you got cancer." But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a fun journey trying to get this voice back. But yeah, there's a beer here though. I'm gonna crack this thing open.
You're still drinking even though you're like near life, like death?
Yeah. Beer and Sports Podcast. You do it for the people, by the people.
For the people, by the people. I'm drinking water because I had way too much drink the past couple days.
I saw somewhere
water,
and I was going to comment on it, and you were like something about beer, and I was like, "Oh, you do drink beer? What's going on with this?"
Oh, went to a Lightning game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Rangers. Yeah.
Buy me a beer, and I was like, "Hold up."
I had an extra ticket. It was last minute. It's hard to get people out on the 30th of December, the last minute like that. A lot of things to do around here. But we're not here to talk about Lightning. We're not here to talk about hockey or whatever. The playoffs are right around the corner. NFL playoffs, the biggest thing in the sports calendar year, I believe. The NFL playoffs are like the best sporting event ever. So we have some teams that clinched. We have a team that choked away a spot to get a first round bye in the Miami Dolphins. And then we have the Eagles keep on falling down the NFC charts. They won't be passed up by the Rams, but they're locked.
I'm just saying right now, if the Cowboys play anyone, they're winning because they had the refs on their side.
So you admit that the Cowboys had a little help from the referees?
Oh yeah, but they've had non-help from the refs before, so whatever. Yeah. It kind of like evens. It's karma. It just evens itself out throughout the year. Ultimately, like, we're gonna get to a point where there are no issues because the refs just even themselves out.
Yeah. So here's the playoff teams that are locked in for the AFC. You have the Ravens at the 1 seed, 13-3. Miami Dolphins are the 2 seed, currently 11-5. Kansas City, 3 seed, 10-6, and the Browns are locked in as a wild card team, not division winner, as 11-5 as well. So there's only 4 teams locked up in the AFC. What do you think about the AFC? We have some teams in the bubble, are in the hunt: Jaguars, Bills, Colts.
Ask me this: what do I feel about every team that's not the Ravens and 49ers? Because I feel like everyone is limping into the playoffs right now that aren't those two teams.
The Browns have been storming into the playoffs. I don't know what you're talking about there. I know that, it's kind of laughable to think a 2023 Joe Flacco-led team can make some noise, but I tweeted it out. Like, the Browns, they're going to mess around and get into the Super Bowl, aren't they?
I mean, Joe Flacco did help me win a championship in fantasy football, so I will take that.
Stupid. Speaking of fantasy football, catch us on Wednesday night, OUSFF pod. We are storming YouTube. We're going crazy over there.
So tell me this.
What?
OUSFF pod.
Yeah. What about it?
Now that the championship is done, I know some people are dumb and they have like a week 18 championship. dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you're a part of that, stop it. So where do you go from here? Season's over. What do you do in
Well,
OUS? Are you going to take a break or
oh no, I know we're year round. We'll be here every
Year
single
round.
week. We'll be cutting down the shows. We used to do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now we're just going to do a little bit of Wednesdays and every other Friday, I believe.
okay.
But tonight, or not tonight, Wednesday night, we'll be doing the award shows, fantasy MVP, comeback player of the year, rookie of the year. So we'll be laying
I
down.
mean, fantasy MVP is very easy to pick.
Who is it?
It's Christian McCaffrey.
What do you base that off of? So you could base that off of.
He just nonstop dominated, and I guarantee you, 75% of championship teams have Christian McCaffrey on them.
So okay, I won, and I'm not going to brag about my fantasy teams too much. I won 5 championships this year. Only one of them had
Out of how
CMC on
many?
it. 26.
Yeah, well,
People want to say, but
success right there.
hold on, but I'm not gonna argue with anyone tonight because we're not in that mood tonight. But I will say this, and I said this because someone said the same thing. Well, the hard part, having 26 teams is actually a lot harder than having just 2 or 3.
It's very hard.
I've-
I've had
it's-
like 5 teams before, and I was
That's
like,
that's 27 waiver wire weekly thing. That's 27 weekly lineups. That's 27
waiver
trade
wire for the
offers.
week.
That's it's
It's
a
for
very,
the week. It's not like a weekly thing. It's just for the week.
and then you guys said like you'll have Jaden Reed over here, and you're like, oh, he's out, but you forget because you have 27 teams, you can't check them all before 12 or 1 o'clock. So it is very difficult to manage that many and to win. And honestly, this is the most successful year I've had in since 2019.
Yeah.
But
Are they
only
all
one,
money leagues?
yeah, all money leagues.
Okay.
So I'm up on the season like I usually am, but that's neither here nor there. I was bringing up to the point where I had one team with CMC on it in my championships, and I beat 3 teams yesterday that had CMC on in their lineup. So they were there, right? Like
CMC
to your point,
CMC didn't.
he left the
play well.
game. He left the game hurt yesterday, and it was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
I think
still,
he's the obvious MVP right now, though.
for fantasy, I mean, I mean, you'll have to tune in and find out. There's stuff baked into fantasy MVP, like where was he drafted, the value part of it.
So
how many points?
You could say Puka Nacua could very well be an MVP because he was an undrafted free agent.
Do you want the nominees? Just I won't give you the winners because we already have the winners.
Give me the nominees. I want to hear the nominees.
All right, I'll give you the nominees. That's what we'll do. Fantasy nominees. So MVP. You want to start off with the big one, MVP?
Yeah.
All right, we have CMC, Tyreek Hill, CD Lamb, and Raheem Mostert.
How bad of a pick was that for me passing on CD Lamb and our?
So
CD Lamb can overtake Tyreek this week.
Well, no, CD Lamb's already done that. He's already the receiver 1.
I'm saying like in actual stats, he can overtake Tyreek this week.
Yeah, I know. So Tyreek's a wide receiver 2, CD's wide receiver 1, Raheem Mostert's the running back 3, and Christian McCaffrey's a running back 1.
So I see where you're going. Raheem Mostert being running back 3 to where he was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
The value there is just so much greater than CMC being the obvious running back 1.
Yeah, so if you had, like, let's say, for example, you drafted CD in the 1st, and then you just picked up Raheem Mostert in the 10th, your team was banging, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Raheem Mostert had to make the list. I won't tell you the winner, but those are the nominees.
But this is something to be said for fantasy. How many number 1 picks actually produce?
Tyreek Hill, CD Lamb, they were number 1
I'm
picks.
saying like number 1 overall because
No, CMC wasn't the number 1 overall. Justin Jefferson was, and Chase was 2. ADP wise, yeah, CMC was like down to the 3-4 range, which is still great.
A lot of people that are like, "Oh, wide receivers out to running backs now. Like you shouldn't draft a running back. You should draft a wide receiver."
Yep,
exactly. And you should never listen to those people. Running backs all the way.
All right, so I'll give you the next award. It's called the Brady Playoff MVP. The first one was the we named them after some players. Like the fantasy MVP is named the LaDainian Tomlinson Fantasy MVP Award because he's the greatest fantasy player in our lifetime. Not going back to the Jim Brown. Yeah. So this one's the Brady Playoff Most Valuable Player. The person who performed the best in your fantasy playoffs from weeks 15 to 17. The nominees: David Njoku, Kyron Williams, Lamar Jackson, CD Lamb. Let me pull up the numbers.
Kyron Williams was on my fantasy team. I had
So you should
CMC and Kyron. And Kyron did do very, very well. Tyreek has not done so well.
He's not on the list for fantasy for.
Oh, I thought I heard you say Tyreek.
No. It's David Njoku, Kyron Williams, Lamar Jackson, and CD Lamb. So let me get up. I'm pulling up their stats right now.
David Njoku. Can we at least get a Kyle Pitts on there for scoring over 10 points one of those weeks?
No, we cannot. Unfortunately, we can't do that.
I mean, CD has to be it.
Does he have to be it though?
He has to be it. He snapped out over the last 5 weeks.
Oh, he was great. He was great. Njoku, man, I was just Fantasy Pros is messing up. You can't really look at the week 7. Week 17 is they just took it off the books. Thanks, Fantasy Pros, you bastards.
Yeah.
That's really weird they did that. Just trying to find the weeks 1 through 17. Just to let you know that they're all impressive. Njoku was very impressive down the run. That's why he's in there in the considerations. We wanted Joe Flacco in there somehow because we know that he was valuable.
I mean,
It was down to Lamar versus
who was more valuable though, Lamar or
I can't tell you the winner.
Or Flacco.
I can't tell you the winner. I can't tell you the winner.
Well,
obviously Lamar's more valuable than Flacco because we believe that he was on more fantasy.
Over in my league got 34, 22, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then went 16, 26, 15, 13, 34.
So you're picking CD Lamb as the fantasy
and then,
MVP, the Brady Fantasy Playoff Award winner.
Hold up. I'm trying to. I mean, in my opinion, just off the top of my head, Kyron Williams did really well.
Yeah, he did.
Kyron Williams in my league, which is a half-point PPR, 29, 16, 23. So very similar.
These are all phenomenal. They all put up phenomenal numbers.
But they all produced very well.
And we left off like
a
Lamar.
Championship.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. If they shit the bed, like T. Higgins would have been on this list if he shit the bed the championship week, and a couple other players did as well.
Christian
Next one,
McCaffrey too.
Yeah, CMC is what. Breakout Fantasy Player of the Year. This player broke
Puka
out.
Nacua. He's a rookie. Can he be breakout?
This is where we had our debate because we all three from OUS were on video today debating these candidates. This is a big. It took us like an hour to get this list actually finalized. In the winners, we had to argue over the winners. It was a whole
like a behind the scenes prelude to your game show here.
So breakout player of the year we have Jordan Love, who finished quarterback I believe 5 up there. Kyron Williams. This player I don't agree with on this list. James Cook and Trey McBride.
That was a Justin pick, James Cook.
Yeah. Yep.
Who was the last one?
but he deserves to be on there though.
But
he was running back 11, I believe. He was running back 11 on the Buffalo Bills. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah, that is very difficult to do. Who was the last one? Sorry,
Trey McBride.
Okay.
Since he took over the Zach Ertz role, he was tight end 2 on the season. Since he took over, since week 8, he was tight end 2. He broke out. That's the definition of a breakout. So we have Jordan Love,
but it technically couldn't be a rookie.
No, well, because we have Rookie of the Year. We're saving that for Rookie of the Year.
Okay. No, I like it. Obviously Kyron Williams. I feel like, what was he running back to?
No, he was up there. I wish Fantasy Pros would not destroy their website tonight as we're doing the show because I can't go. They won't let me go to week 17 at all. And I hate going to ESPN and Yahoo. Those sites suck. Let me see.
Kyron Williams was running back 2 in my league.
Oh,
so I had running back 1 and 2, 5 and 6.
I guess I gotta go. Ooh, this one says the week 6.
You got to win your championship if you have that, right?
What do you mean?
If you have running back 1, 2, 5, and 6.
Yeah, you would think. You would think.
I'm just so good at drafting. Like,
Kyron Williams. I went to CBS. And Kyron Williams is running back 5. All right. So that's the breakout. You're saying Kyron. Okay. Next topic. Next is the mid player of the year, the bust. We call him mid. So we have Travis Kelce, Tony Pollard, Jalen Waddle, and Trevor Lawrence.
I can't say I can't go with the quarterback because don't overvalue a quarterback. If you overdrafted him, then that's your fault.
His ADP, he underperformed big time for ADP. That's why he's on the list, big time. And Waddle was getting drafted in the top 10.
But Waddle had some good games.
But he finished wide receiver 29.
Yeah,
outside the top, outside of a starting wide receiver. And then we all know Tony Pollard. We all know the story. Yep.
It has to be Tony Pollard. Like, not being a Cowboys fan and saying like, "Oh, my guy wins an award." It has to be Tony Pollard because
Tony Pollard.
Garbage.
He finished running back 15, but he was drafted a lot higher because he played all the games. I think.
Oh my goodness, he was just trash.
Yeah, he was.
He still is trash.
And Travis Kelce though he was drafted 5th overall, like, of all players. He was drafted ahead of players like Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I'm watching the games, the last game that Cowboys played against the Lions, and I'm like, is it the offensive line? Like, there's not much we can do. Like, we have the best guard, a really good guard on the other side, a pretty good center. Our right tackle can get better. But I'm like, it can't be like the offensive line. It has to just be Tony Pollard. He is just trash this year.
Okay. The blue chip rookie of the year award. We got Puka.
Rookie of the year award.
Puka.
We already know who this is going to.
CJ Stroud. I'm gonna get their finishes. I'm gonna get their finishes for you so you see it context.
It better not have a Colts player on there.
Puka finished wide receiver 5 on the season. Okay.
Okay.
CJ Stroud, he was hurt. He missed some games. He was quarterback 12 on the season, so he finished a quarterback 1. Jahmyr Gibbs was nominated.
That's the guy right there.
He finished running back 8, and then Sam Laporta from the Lions finished tight end 1. He beat Kelce. He's the first one to dethrone Kelce in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's difficult, man. To outscore Kelce.
I feel like tight ends as a whole just played trash this year.
Yeah.
Like, the position was just awful.
So put in perspective, Kelce, because we looked this up, and I've been doing my research today. Kelce's scored 300 or more fantasy points in the past 4 years. 300 or more. Like, he's had 350. This year he scored 219. Not even close to 300. That's how much of a bust Kelce scores. Laporta scored 225. So he still Laporta wouldn't have been the tight end 1, but he's still tight end 1.
Yeah.
You know, like, as a rookie, it's hard. It's
so it just says that it's a down year overall. Like,
it is a down year for tight
you don't
ends.
know the stats of like where 225 would be like historically.
Last year, I can figure that out right now. Hold on, I'm going to go to it right now. 2022. So 225 would have been tight end 2 last year because Hawkinson was tight end 2. He had 215 last year.
I think it's
but Kelce had 316. But Kelce had 316.
Gibbs.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's between Laporta and Gibson.
All right. Well,
Puka Nacua had a good year, a great year. But yeah, I think it's between Gibbs and Laporta.
So this is a career achievement award. It's going out to a player that we think that will not be on your fantasy team next year, will not be drafted, won't start a handful of games, but he was such a legendary player in the fantasy community for his career. So we got Adam Thielen.
Okay, for his career.
Yes, this is a career achievement. Like, you did it, champ. Go in the Hall of Fame. Huh?
Who nominated that one?
Me, because I don't think he's going to be fantasy relevant next year at all. Like, I think this was his final year to be on your starting roster.
I want to see him get traded. I want to see. I was talking about this with our Kansas City guys. I want to see Adam Thielen get traded to Kansas City as their slot receiver.
And I want everyone to understand. I'm not saying these guys are going to be kicked out of the league in real life. It's just I don't think you'll be starting them in a situation.
No,
you're...
if he's in Carolina next year, he is irrelevant.
Yep.
But
okay.
if there is an opportunity for him to get traded, and he goes to Kansas City, he might be relevant next year.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott. Raheem Mostert.
Ooh.
I know. Well, look at the age, right?
Yeah.
Look at the age. You have Achane coming up.
He's just so fast.
No, I love Mostert, and like I'm not saying like he's gonna. No, what I mean is he went off on us like this was his best season of his whole life. I don't think he could repeat it. I think he will be replaced.
But you don't think he'll be on a fantasy team next year? Like on a starting roster next year?
We honestly, Josh, he spoiler, he didn't win this award. We just couldn't figure out someone else to put like that's old.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be. I just don't see a situation where he's even this close to being this good again. Yeah. But he will be overdrafted, unfortunately.
I'm trying to think of.
So Zeke, Mostert. This is an easy one. I can't believe you don't know who the winner.
Zeke overdoes Mostert easily.
Exactly.
I think Zeke overdoes Thielen too, even though Thielen is just Thielen is a really, really good football player. But I think fantasy wise, Zeke outdoes him. Zeke dominated in his heyday.
Zeke's the best running back of our generation. Or not our generation, but of his era.
Yeah, fantasy running back.
Yeah. So, okay, we got the next guy. Priority waiver award of the year. The guy you picked up off waivers. The best waiver wire pickup. We have Puka Nacua. He's nominated number 1.
Does Kyron fit in there?
Yeah. Can I read my list? Can I read my list? So in case you guys don't watch OUS, we do a show on Tuesday called Priority Waivers. We had a spreadsheet. We kept every single person that we put on that list and the roster ships on that week, so we know when these players were picked up. We know we have that stat. We have that data. We saved it for this reason. So Puka Nacua, Jerome Ford of the Cleveland Browns, Kyron Williams of the Rams, and C.J. Stroud of the Houston Texans. They were all under 10% roster ship at one point. So we're talking Puka finished wide receiver 5.
Puka was week 1. Kyron was
we have all that stuff written down. I'm not finding that email right now. Yeah. But Stroud finished quarterback 12, and Jerome Ford. People forget how good he was, but he finished up there too. Let me go look where he finished.
This was a good year for me 14. To just talk about rookies in fantasy.
It was. So who are you picking?
Don't you think, or am I or is my
no?
Audio
You did
just going in and
out? No, you're really fuzzy. You look like you're censored. You look like you're watching cable access at 3 a.m. trying to find a nipple.
There you go. Channel 99.
Yeah, it was channel 20. It was channel 20.
I'll probably go. Oh, really? Puka. I'm probably going to go Puka with that just because he was week 1, and he just kept going. And we've had conversations on the show about Puka. Okay, well, what's his name's coming back? Do you trade him as a piece?
Nope.
And the answer is no. You didn't. You were right on that. He's kept going, and I just think throughout his entire season, he's just been dominant.
Yes. Okay. So then we have the comeback player of the year, either coming back from just being awful, coming back from injury, or coming back from
makes me think of that Arrested Development skit where they did the bloopers and they nominated Kim Kardashian for the comeback person of the year.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you after. It's funny.
All right. Comeback player of the year. We have Baker Mayfield.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Okay.
We have he went from playing from 2 teams last year to where did he finish? Quarterback 9. Finished quarterback 9 on the season.
My father-in-law, who's a Browns fan, he's like, "Oh, this team's pretty dangerous right now." I'm like, "You can't say that because Baker's no longer on the team."
Dude, let me tell you, our YouTube channel for OUSFF pod.
Are they still going at you?
Yes. It's every day. That video is up to almost 2.5 thousand views, and they just what it's doing though is driving our other videos up because we're getting into a lot more feeds. But these people are so mean, like they're mean. But what they don't do because they only
Sports fans are awful.
well because they only watch like 2 to 3 minutes, but they don't hear what I've throughout the year I've been telling everyone go pick up Baker. We actually went through our waiver priority list this morning while we are doing these candidates, and I recommended Baker weeks 1 through 6. Like you guys got to pick Baker up. You got to pick Baker up. But yet I'm being trashed because I made one video because he came off with 3 games where he played like complete ass. Sorry guys, Jesus Christ. Anyway, Baker Mayfield, who I supported all year, DJ Moore, who I didn't think he should be on this list, but we couldn't figure anyone else out. He finished.
He had like 2 good games.
No, DJ Moore's been good all year. He finished wide receiver 8. He's been good all year, and he's been underrated. Then we have Breece Hall coming off that injury. He finished, I think, wide receiver or running back 4. And then we have Deebo Samuel, who has been complete trash 2 years in a row.
4 or 5 good games. 5 good games.
Dude, DJ Moore's been very solid. And then we have Deebo Samuel, who finished wide receiver 14. But he's been like wide receiver 36.
Who came after DJ Moore again?
Breece Hall and Deebo. I can't believe.
These are comeback players?
Yeah, dude, I don't want to talk about it. This one I fought, and I'm going to fight Justin and Dave on air about this one too.
This is the worst list of comeback players I've ever heard of.
I was like, we can't put 2 on this list. We can't put.
Yeah, Tua.
But this, I mean, we had a debate, and these were the players that they were not.
DJ Moore?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
DJ Moore. Where did he go?
Well,
what happened to him?
Well, he was playing.
He was traded.
He was playing in Carolina. I'll tell you where he finished. I'll give you his finishes, because that matters. Like where they finished and how bad they were.
What about Joe Flacco? He could be on another list, but you can't get Joe Flacco on this list.
I mean, dude, you're telling me, hey, this isn't it's my show, right? But we have an open forum, and I let people. DJ Moore was wide receiver 24 last year, and then he was.
What about Lamar Jackson?
See, I can't win every debate, Josh. All right, I can't win. Dave wanted to put Raheem Mostert in the Breakout Player of the Year award. Dave wanted to put Raheem Mostert as a breakout player because he thought breakout player, which I understand where he was coming from. He thought that it meant like, oh, he fucking just blew up this year. No, breakout. Yeah. So I guess we all interpret things differently. They think a comeback player is you suck for a couple of years and you come back and you blow up. My thing is you play on 2 teams last year, the Rams and the Panthers. You got booted off of both. You come back to Tampa Bay. That's who I would have picked for comeback player of the year. Spoiler alert, everyone. He didn't win. And guess what? The person getting trashed daily, getting called mean names because I criticized Baker Mayfield is the only one voting for Baker as comeback player of the year. I want that clipped. Why don't you guys watch this video? I've been a Baker supporter all freaking year, but y'all watch 3 minutes of one video. And then
that really is beating you up, hasn't it?
It really is, man. So I wake up to these comments every day, and they're just so mean, but they don't understand.
Yeah, I would have.
They weren't there for the beginning.
So, question:
supporter.
If it was Baker, Lamar Jackson, let's put. I'm trying to think who else did I talk about there? Joe Flacco. Let's just make this a quarterback.
Look, to me, it's still Baker because he like he said he played for 2 teams last year, booted off the Carolina Panthers. He wasn't good enough to play in Carolina. It's this to me, and spoiler, Baker didn't win because I was outvoted, but he should have 1,000% won this whole award.
Yeah, he's the only person on that list that is a comeback player.
That's what I'm. Thank you, Josh, for being in my corner. I wish you were in the meeting this morning and you could have probably let these guys know that, hey, Baker's the only true comeback in this situation. Breece is a huge comeback from the injury.
Yeah, but that's do compared to
he was Baker. Running back. He was running back 4 or 5. Let me see.
Was he?
Yes. He was running back 4. He was running back 4. Yes.
In my league, he was not even like top 10.
That's not real life. Yes, he's up there. Josh, go look.
I'm looking.
What kind of rules do you have? Jets players get half the points?
No, it's just half PPR. He was high in my league. Let me just make sure. Okay, this isn't season long. That might help out.
He had 74 catches. I think he led the league.
Okay, he was.
Kamara had
1, 2, 3,
one more
4,
catch.
5.
Kamara had one more catch. Dang.
He was running back 6 in my league.
Okay, so he was up so close to what I said.
I had it set to just week 17 totals.
Okay.
And I was like, nope, not under mine.
All right. Next category, next cat. We only have a couple more.
Yeah.
We have heist of the year, as in steal of the draft.
Okay.
Steal of the draft. We have Raheem Mostert.
Jesus.
I wish I had these ADPs.
Gosh, you guys love Raheem Mostert.
He was running back 3, Josh, and he was drafted in like the 12th round. So anyway, Raheem Mostert, Sam Laporta, Jacoby Myers, and Rashee Rice. These guys were all drafted way below their ADP and crushed their ADP. I don't have them in front of me. I'll have it for the show.
How many games did Rashee Rice sit out for?
He was
out for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he finished very high. Let me see.
But do you put in like the decision that he hurt teams in that process of not playing?
Yeah, but when he started playing, he was lights out. He was wide receiver 21 on the season. He finished ahead of George Pickens, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Zay Flowers. He finished ahead of Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Jalen Waddle, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin. These are all guys that were obviously picked over him. Drake London, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks, Christian Kirk, who was going ahead of him, T. Higgins.
I mean, by the sound of it, we're trying to get Raheem Mostert an award, so I'm going to pick Raheem Mostert.
There you go. All right. Fantasy moment of the year, which is game of the year. So we have Tyreek Hill, week 1, 44.5 points. Devin Achane, week 3, 51.3.
That might be it right there.
Amari Cooper, week 16, 51.5. Jamar Chase, week 5, 52.5. And I'll have, whenever we do the show, we'll have all like their catches and yardage and stuff. My thought process on this is, how did it affect your team? How did it affect your roster? And what impact did it make on the season? Did Devin Achane? I'm going to say this before we move.
I think we're going to say the same thing.
Oh, I don't think we are. The Devin Achane game, nobody started him, so it's kind of pointless.
Exact same thing. And then it puts you in a quandary of, well, he put that points up. Do I put him in my starting lineup? And he just never, like, he did well.
He did very well.
Yeah, but he didn't, like, there's games that he didn't play down the stretch.
Yep.
So it kind of like, do I play him or not? And he just became that player for you on your lineup.
So there's this debate too. There's the Tyreek Hill week 1, 44.5, where in my opinion he came out and made a statement saying, "Hey, I'm going to be the wide receiver 1 this year, motherfuckers. Like, I own this league." So that to me was a big impact.
He was wrong.
Well, he was beat out by CD. Okay, and Amari Cooper week 16, he basically got people to the championship game, but he didn't play championship week and he failed your team. So he got you there when you probably didn't deserve to be there, and then you ultimately lost. So and the Jamar Chase was just a random 52-point game. You started him because you have Jamar Chase. Yeah. So to me, there's only 2 that I would even vote for. It's Tyreek and Amari Cooper. Yeah. Tyreek's impact showed you what was going to happen all season, and Amari Cooper
made you feel good about your team going forward.
Well, Amari Cooper got you to the championship.
Yeah, true.
So then there's the last award. We're calling it the Blue Tent Award.
Tent Award.
Yeah, medical tent. You know, the ones that the injured, the biggest impact, the biggest injury impact.
I wonder who's on this one.
Who can you think? Can you guess the 4? Guess the 4.
I'm gonna guess that one person that was nominated has a nickname. Does he have a nickname?
I don't know if these guys have nicknames.
Does he go by Slant God?
No, he never got hurt. He's not. Oh yeah, he did get hurt. He's not on this list. He's not that important. He's not that important. These are all legit. Like,
are they just like constantly hurt? And
no, these guys got hurt this year and crushed your fantasy team.
Okay,
because of it.
I mean, is Deshaun Watson on there?
No.
Okay, because he was garbage.
He didn't crush anyone.
But you could have drafted him fairly high.
These are all obvious players.
I can't think of any of them.
Justin Jefferson was the first pick overall. Okay. He missed a ton of games down the stretch. Mark Andrews, you picked him in the 3rd round, most likely. Aaron Rodgers, not only, tight end Andrews, Raphael. Aaron Rodgers, not only did he go out in the first 4 games and you lost your quarterback, you also lost your superstar receiver potential because his value was crushed. Aaron Rodgers just took down a whole franchise.
Yeah.
And then Nick Chubb blew out his whole damn knee.
There you go, Nick Chubb.
And then he was a 1st-round pick.
I mean, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers because you said it there. Garrett Wilson, because if you, because a lot of times you like to double
stack.
If you got Garrett Wilson, you'll go and try and get Aaron Rodgers so you get the points. It has to be Aaron Rodgers.
I need you on the show to back me up, man. Because Richardson, Raphael wasn't on the list because he wasn't highly drafted. Chubb and Jefferson were 1st-round picks. Rodgers was being picked in the top 10 quarterbacks.
But the value,
but it didn't kill your team though, because in JT with the Colts, we knew going in that he was going to miss time. We knew going in.
Yeah.
But that did still suck. But that's why his draft value went down to the 4th, 5th round. If he was never hurt, week 1 going into week 1, he would have been a 1st-round pick. But since
he was a backup on your team to where you drafted him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So those are all the awards. It's gonna. The winners are here. I don't agree with all of them, guys. I mean, Josh just closed it out with what I was saying, but apparently I lost that debate too, guys.
Really?
Spoiler. Yeah.
How? Don't tell me it's Justin Jefferson.
You have to stay tuned.
Yeah. I'm tuning in Wednesday and watching this, and I am just laying into these people.
You can come on the show, man. I'll send you a link on the side. But that's the awards. I'm pretty proud of these awards. I'm pretty proud of that show. Actually,
I'm proud. No, I will say you guys crushed this season. Absolutely crushed this season. I mean, so much that we are talking about your show on the Beer and Sports Podcast right now. So.
We're talking about a show on our show about our other show.
No, you guys did a really good job. Justin was a great addition to the team. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys do, and I would love to join for draft stuff.
Yeah, we need a draft guy because you nailed Stroud. You're pretty good on everyone.
Stroud nailed.
You suck with Swift. Like, he's a good player. You can't. Hey, I want to say this. When we went to the Outback Bowl, and this is going back off topic, but I had one of my buddies who listens to the show, and he's actually a real life friend. So he's like, "Hey, Josh, when you went to the Senior Bowl, like, who did you actually like when you went to the Senior Bowl?" And we actually did a show in our Airbnb about who we liked. Yeah. And I even had tweets on who I liked.
Yeah.
My top 3 players.
There you go.
Trey McBride. He was my number 1 player.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford. He was my top running back coming out. I missed on Malik Willis. I thought he was the best quarterback in that class.
Yeah. I'm still not done with him because I said he needs time to develop. And get him in a situation where he can develop, not in Tennessee where they can't develop a quarterback to save their life.
I mean, it'd be nice for him to be developed, but here we live in this NFL where if you're not ready to go now, you're just not going to ever. He fell off this year though. Like, he really did fall off, unfortunately. But he didn't crush him. He didn't crush his team, but he was never the same as he was last year. So Trey McBride, it was Jerome Ford. I liked Malik Willis. I liked Damian Pierce a lot. I hated Romeo Doubs.
Yeah.
I hated him. I thought he was awful. I still think he's not that great, but at least he's an NFL player.
They don't have anyone else to throw to other than this.
Yeah. Jaden Reed is miles ahead of Romeo Doubs. And then my last player I thought was going to be something special. I really did. Danny Gray. He plays for San Francisco, but he's lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. I still like a lot of those receivers. Danny Gray.
Calvin Austin.
Who's in the
so
Steelers.
Fast. Khalil Shakir, like, he's going to be if they didn't waste their time with Gabe Davis and they let Khalil Shakir get more involved because he is such a better player.
Group of receivers.
Yeah,
that was a really good group of receivers, and you have to give receivers 4 years. You really do.
Not in today's NFL. It's you better
If you're
splash on day
a
one.
top tier wide receiver, if you're drafted within the top 100, yes. A lot of these receivers we're talking about were not drafted in the top 100. So
No.
give them 3 to 4 years. Their fourth year, they should be producing.
Yeah. So we are going. We didn't talk one thing about the playoffs today. We went through. We went through the Once Upon a Sunday fantasy football awards.
Well,
awards.
we got a show next Monday, the week leading into the playoffs.
But I wanted to break it down going into it. Like we got this team's got to win. This team's the Buffalo, Miami for the division. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's primetime game right there. Buffalo, Miami. I mean, it's obvious that the Bills are going to win.
Yes, I think so too.
Miami is just so beat up right now, and it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this happen? I mean, this is when you turn and say, Greer, what are you doing? You draft nothing but injury-prone players, and you bring in nothing but injury-prone players, because every year they come into the playoffs, they're beat up and hurt and just hopping along. And that's what they're doing this year. Chubb, ACL. What's going on with Tua in his arm, in his shoulder?
I'm not sure yet. I've been recovering from last night. I have not seriously. I'm not even joking, guys.
Yeah.
Me and my son were up till like 1:30 in the morning. My son, my 5-year-old, was up till 1:30 in the morning.
So
I wanted to draft.
is not worried about Tua's shoulder injury.
Good. Then I'm not going to be worried either. But I wanted the Dolphins to draft Tank Dell as well. I love Tank Dell coming out.
Yeah,
Tank Dell
Dell.
was phenomenal. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining the chat. We just broke down the award shows. Make sure you watch Once Upon a Sunday on Wednesday night, 8:00. We'll be breaking down the awards. We just talked
trash the nominees.
And Josh might make an appearance. I'm going to ask the guys if we can make room for one more guy. Maybe
Can I just come in, like, just
the peanut
send it
gallery
to me right before that last nomination? I'll just join. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I think Justin just sent me something. Is he watching? Justin, are you watching? Oh, dude, this graphic he made for the graphic he made for these awards, guys. You guys got to tune in. I'm sorry for plugging my show so much, but
No, you're good. You guys crushed it this year. You really did. Head coach said at press that Tua's shoulder is okay but sore. Is it okay because it has to be okay? Mm-hmm. Or is it okay?
I'm really nervous about that game going in. As you guys know, maybe you guys don't know, but I'm not really a hardcore, like, oh, they got to win, live and die. Like, it's cool if they win, if they lose, whatever, my life moves on. But I really want to beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo is one of the biggest frauds in the past decade in the NFL.
No, that was Philadelphia this year.
No, but at least they came out with Super Bowls. Buffalo Bills,
this year. Philadelphia this year.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about in the past decade. I think the Buffalo Bills are the biggest frauds, man. Right. Their window's closed, I believe, and they're such a loser franchise. You get to the Super Bowl all those years, you lose, you never win, you just come so close, you guys can't close. Just a bunch of losers.
Sounds like you're talking about the Cowboys.
But at least you guys have Super Bowls. Like the Buffalo Bills have nothing. They really truly have zero.
Yeah.
And they come at you like there's something. And the fact is Josh isn't playing as well as we thought he was going to play. Still quarterback one in fantasy, if that tells you
anything. Did you hear what the head coach said?
No.
We go as far as Josh will take us. And I heard that. I'm like, no, you go as far as this run game will take you.
Yes.
Live by the run game.
Yes, because they have been running. That's James Cook. Like they've been getting the job done.
Like run the ball, take the pressure off of Josh, and just go.
Yeah. Look, if the Dolphins lose, which I am predicting the Dolphins will lose. I am. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think the team's just way too beat up right now.
They are beat up. Like it was embarrassing against Baltimore. You know, not gonna lie, I was watching that game. Just to let everyone know in the chat, I watch Red Zone. I don't watch Dolphins game straight up. I don't watch any game straight up unless it's the only game in town. I'm a fantasy guy first. I'll always watch Red Zone first. This time I actually made it a point to watch the Dolphins game on the big TV focus. And by half, I just had it turned off and I was playing Mario with my son because I didn't want my day to be rough. Seriously.
My wife did the same thing.
I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to go play Mario with my son.
She said, I don't know. We lost by like 50 points. She's like, not really, but I turned it off at like the half.
Yeah, like I just didn't want to keep torturing myself. But I will watch the full game on the Bills. But I am expecting. Sorry for being negative. I'm expecting a loss.
Yeah,
It is what
no,
it
I agree. Well, if you watched the post game last night with Bobby and Brett and Finn Stanza, as his name is, Evan Posner, and two special guests, they were very, very negative. I was on there like, why is it always doom and gloom when Miami loses? Like, as soon as Miami has one loss, it's just straight doom and gloom. And that's where they were. They were talking about firing the head coach, firing Greer, firing, getting rid of Tua. Like, it was
See, I'm
a
not
big
there.
blow up session.
I'm not there. Here's my thing, guys, and I'll leave it at this for the Dolphins talk.
Yeah.
All year, I knew they couldn't beat a team that's legit. Like they were not going to be able to beat a top tier team. I kind of had that going in.
The Cowboys.
Oh, I know, I understand that, but once they beat the Cowboys, then I'm like, oh wait, the Ravens are definitely doable. But then it was that bad. I'm thinking, well, the Cowboys are frauds.
The 49ers game.
Cowboys are frauds. We beat the frauds, right? Dolphins beat the frauds. So then Dolphins are just frauds that beat another fraud. Who cares? That's how I imagined it at like halftime of the Baltimore game. I mean, there's no one stopping Lamar. Dolphins have no answer for this pass game. 5 passing touchdowns.
Okay,
5?
so 6 seed. If Dolphins lose,
So who is that?
that would be the Chiefs at the current moment. Unless the Chiefs win, I think they might jump up to the 2 seed, and it would probably be the Bills versus the Miami again. But at the current moment, it would be Dolphins Bills swap, and it would be Dolphins versus Chiefs. Are you afraid of the Chiefs?
Man, I'm always afraid of Mahomes.
I'm not afraid of the Chiefs right now.
I'm always afraid. I'm not. Hold on. I'm always afraid of Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm not really afraid of the Chiefs per se, but I'm always afraid of Mahomes. And Mahomes in the playoffs is a different person than Mahomes in the regular season.
But his kryptonite is receivers that drop the ball. And boy, does he have a lot of kryptonite on that team.
The thing is, though, he's hitting a good groove with Rashee Rice. And I know we brought him up earlier. He is. I tweeted it out, and this is fantasy purposes. I will overpay for Rashee Rice. I think he's going to be something special next year. I think we're going to be talking Rashee Rice as a top 10 receiver in the league moving forward. I think he is a special player. And if they can keep this momentum going, Isaiah Pacheco's running the ball well. I don't know what Kelsey is doing. I don't know.
If Kelsey can turn it on, like, this team's scary.
I don't know if Kelsey's worried about, his career going forward being some kind of reality superstar, whatever he wants to do. I don't know what he wants to do, but
Do you
if he
think
can
he
just
hangs it up?
focus, I fucking hope so after this season. I've about had enough of him. I really have.
Bro.
I don't know if they're using him differently. I don't know if he just can't go anymore or if he's just not focused.
He might be beat up too.
Probably. He probably is beat up. Everyone's beat up, but you're still playing football. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It's hard to be great that long at that position forever, right? Even Tony Gonzalez fell. Jason Witten fell. Jimmy Graham. We still see Jimmy Graham out here catching touchdowns. That's the funny thing. It's unbelievable, but I'm not afraid of the Chiefs.
Yeah, me either. There's probably one team, AFC side, that I'm afraid of.
That's the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and probably one on the NFC side that I'm afraid of.
That's the 49ers.
Yeah, like, truly. I if that's not the Super Bowl, I am shocked and there is an injury somewhere. Or playoff Lamar showed up.
Playoff Lamar shows up, and then he plays the Browns, and the Browns beat him up. I can see that. I could definitely see the Browns playing him in the second round.
Or what about the Bills? If the Bills...
No, I don't think the Bills are anything. I don't think the Bills are anything.
If playoff Lamar shows up, the Bills could beat the Ravens.
Yeah, of course. But if playoff Josh Allen shows up, or that defense shows up, the Bills defense shows up. Come on, the Bills have done nothing but choke in the playoffs.
How the Colts make the playoffs?
Gardner Minshew, baby. Gardner Minshew, baby. He's been playing out of his mind.
Ooh, that's the big game. Let's talk about that.
Are we just doing a 90-minute show tonight?
Yeah. Houston at Indianapolis. Same record. If Houston wins, they're in.
I'm going for Houston. Like I'm straight up.
I'm pulling for Houston too.
Pulling for Houston. They're a more fun team. I wish they had Tank Dell still. Colts are fun too. Gardner Minshew in the playoffs would be fun. It would be a fun environment.
That's fun. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited for that.
That division's up for grabs. The Jags are 9-7. The Colts are 9-7. Texans are 9. So they're gonna. So one of these teams are gonna host a playoff, home playoff team. I would love to see the Colts.
Yeah, it's between why are people saying, "Oh, I don't want to see Pittsburgh"? Pittsburgh's not going to make the playoffs. They don't have a shot.
Yeah, they do. They have a 29. Well, according to NFL.com.
How?
It says right here they have a 29% current playoff probability.
Buffalo loses. Is that what happens? Buffalo loses, Houston or Indianapolis loses, and then Pittsburgh gets in?
See, this is all messed up because it says Jaguars fourth in the hunt. They're 9-7, but they're saying they're playing Carolina. Didn't they play Carolina last week? Yeah, the matchups on NFL.com are messed up. That's why I don't go to NFL.com.
I'm looking on CBS.
I'm looking at NFL.com. You know, NFL, the thing we're talking about, they don't even have their shit right.
Oh, I know. I'm curious of how I'll look into this, but I'm curious how Pittsburgh makes it in.
All right, let me go.
One, they have to beat Baltimore.
Pittsburgh has according to ESPN, Pittsburgh has a 22% shot
but
to make the playoffs. I don't know. I'm reading. I wish they had the I wish they had like a quick sentence about it, but they don't.
Yeah.
I wish they had the scenarios in front of my face.
So
That's
ESPN
what I want.
has a calculator. So
here's the
Pittsburgh
AFC
wins and Houston.
Tell me.
Pittsburgh gets in the 7th seed, and Houston gets the 4th seed. But if Jacksonville wins, who they are playing the Titans, then Steelers aren't in. So Titans have to win. Titans have to win, and Steelers have to win.
There you go.
That's how they get in.
Is the NFC pretty much locked up?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
It's not. Buccaneers, Packers.
Yeah, because Seattle might be able to get a shot in. Let's see.
They have two more teams to get in. The NFC South winner, because the Rams have locked up. So they have the NFC South winner and one more wild card between Green Bay, Seattle.
Seattle can get in.
And Saints and Falcons can get in.
Yeah,
so if the Bucs win, they're in, and they lock it up. And the Packers, if they win, they lock it up.
So let's see. The Rams. Yeah. It's basically up until like the 6th and 7th seed, it's locked in.
AFC North, best division? Yeah.
AFC
yeah,
North?
for sure. Yeah, I think of the Browns, the Ravens, Steelers.
Is it?
Bengals. Yeah, I think that's the best division in all of football. I mean, you can go over to the NFC
West,
East, and say, well, the Eagles and Cowboys are top heavy.
Then you got San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle.
Yeah, but I still think Cleveland, their defense is fierce, and they're a good playoff team, and they're already clinched. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, the number 1 seed, and then you have the Steelers, who are very good this year for being whatever. And think about the Bengals if they had Joe Burrow and he was 100%. That's AFC North, best division.
Here's the scary, the Giants can't make it, right?
No.
They're eliminated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they got eliminated last week when they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in to OUS Fantasy Football Light. I am Josh Wingate, Josh Wingate 302. He is Josh Kimmel, Josh Kimmel OUS. Make sure to tune in Wednesday for his award show on
Wednesday.
Well, I said Wednesday.
Okay.
At what time?
8:00 Eastern.
8 o'clock Eastern. And make sure to find out who the actual winners are and to berate them for their decisions. But I appreciate it. Mugs and Balls on all networks: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Fins Talk Sports Network. Any last words, Kimmel?
I have a couple of last words. My first last words is I hope this new year is great and awesome for every single person out there. I hope it's better than 2023. And for everyone except for fucking Josh Allen, F you, fins up, Bills down, let's go.